Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of NHL Trade Talk Now. My name is Jim Parsons. I'm here with NHLTradeTalk.com. This video is going to be focusing on the Taylor Hall trade from Buffalo to Boston and how that all came about, because there's some interesting inside stories, some behind the scenes that is starting to present itself here on Tuesday, about 24 hours after the trade has gone down. So what we're learning here, and from comments from Taylor Hall and Kevin Adams, GM of the Buffalo Sabres, Elliot Friedman, who's covered the story, and more, is that Taylor Hall had some opportunities to look at other teams. He decided a little while ago that he wanted to go to the Boston Bruins, that he's kind of squashed any other opportunities for Buffalo to move him to another team, and we've heard that the Islanders were involved prior to Kyle Palmieri, and it was a choice, and the Islanders went with Kyle Palmieri. The St. Louis Blues were involved. There was even players from the Blues reaching out to insiders like Friedman asking if he'd heard anything. But it wasn't really all that serious, we don't think. Oilers were never really in the conversation. Boston was in it a while ago, then left the conversation and came back to it. But Hall said, I want to go to Boston, and that is the reason that the Buffalo Sabres couldn't get more than a second-round pick in Anders Bjork for Hall in part of that trade. Lazar went to Boston as well. Hall said in his comments afterwards that, yes, the no-move clause that he had helped make him a Bruin, and Friedman is reporting that Taylor Hall is doing this with the Bruins as a test run. Basically what this means is that he's going to try to perform well for the Bruins. The Bruins are going to see how this goes, and he is interested in signing a long-term extension with the Boston Bruins next season, that he's not really interested in going through free agency again. He's hoping that it works out in Boston. He's chosen Boston because he sees there's a long-term fit there. And that's the whole kind of story behind what's going on here. So while Kevin Adams is getting some flack for the return he got in Buffalo, the deal here is that he couldn't have done anything better, because Hall wasn't going to go anywhere else, and he was only going to go to Boston. He said either Boston or nothing, and the Buffalo Sabres chose the Bruins. So that's the deal. Hall had major play here, major control over where he went. The Bruins actually left the conversation and then came back when the ask wasn't as high. And it sounds like Buffalo wanted one of the young Bruins goalies, and they said, nope, not going to happen. So Anders Bjork, they have some inside information on for so many scouts in Buffalo that know the player quite well, and that's how it all turned out to be. So we'll see what happens here. If Taylor Hall is successful in Boston, probably expect a long-term deal to be on the table right away here. And if he doesn't, well, we'll see what happens with Hall. He's probably going to hit free agency or have to take a discount to stay with the Bruins if that's where he really wants to be. So that's the story behind the Buffalo to Boston trade for Taylor Hall, why the Sabres didn't get more, why he chose the Boston Bruins, and where were all the other teams involved here. There really weren't a bunch, because they were told they weren't in the running. So that's the story. We'll have more on it. You can go to NHLTradeTalk.com and check it out. Otherwise, hit like and subscribe for this video. Hit the notification button to get the other future videos we got coming out, including one we just did on Toronto Maple Leafs and Connor Garland. Interesting story there. All right, guys, thanks. We'll talk to you soon.